Walmart stores reported quarterly earnings Thursday that topped Wall Street estimates by a penny. But the world's largest retailer came in shy on revenue. But that's not the only reason why Walmart is topping headlines. The retail giant says it will open stores at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving night. That's 2 hours earlier than last year. But will workers show up to work or protest? And is Walmart's decision causing other retailers to follow?
The list of big box retailers opening their doors on Thanksgiving Day is growing, and so is the list of consumers threatening to shop elsewhere. Macy's Incorporated is joining the ranks of retailers offering Turkey Day deals in 2013, marking the first time in its 155-year history that it will be open for business on Thanksgiving. It joins numerous stores that have done so over the last few holiday seasons, with many opening their doors earlier and earlier each year. The day after Thanksgiving is hyped by retailers and the media as the largest shopping day of the year, although it doesn't always claim that title in actual dollars. With Thanksgiving Day falling on November 28 this year, retailers are also under pressure to compensate for a shorter holiday shopping season. Walmart, at least, is no stranger to holiday season opposition. This is the second year in a row that the nonprofit group, Our Walmart, which advocates for fair wages for Walmart workers, is coordinating Black Friday protests, hoping to send a message to the company by hitting it where it hurts. The Black Friday protests will follow recent Walmart worker strikes in Los Angeles, Seattle, and elsewhere. Workers are calling for a minimum wage of $25,000 a year for full-time Walmart employees, which would put them just over the federal government's 2013 poverty level for a family of four.
Yes! We are standing with those!
We are standing with those!
Who are refusing to work today!
Who are refusing to work today!
Stores across the country!
And stores across the country!
Retailing is the most competitive industry out there, and we do pay competitive wages, says Walmart CEO Mike Duke, according to Business Insider. But maybe that's simply because he's getting away with paying them so little. According to market research firm Ibis World, the average wage for a Walmart employee is $8.81 per hour, barely over the minimum wage in some states. In contrast, Walmart CEOs made $18.7 million in 2010. As for the increasing normalization of Thanksgiving Day sales, low-wage workers claiming that the trend among retailers was worrisome. But even more troubling, they said, is trying to support their families on the $19,000 a year big box retailers like Walmart pays them.
Now, in a statement, Mike Duke, who we saw in that story, he is the Walmart stores president and CEO, said that the retail environment, both in stores and online, remains competitive, raising questions about the strength of holiday sales. And he stressed that the retailer has aggressive plans to boost sales during the holidays. The question is opening on Thanksgiving night at dinner time. The answer. Joining us now is Dee Dee Benkie, Dr.Bart Rossi, and Dr. Sue Schurman, Professor of Labor Studies and Employment Relations at Rutgers University. We thank you for joining us. Okay, well, here's my first question. Walmart made about $17 billion last year. Can't they afford to take the time off on Thanksgiving? We're going to get a quick taste of the temperature here. Dee Dee, we'll start with you.
Look, they're in job to make their job is to make money. They're in business to make money. It's not for them, for the government to come in and say, hey, you have got to pay workers $10 an hour for being a Walmart greeter. Okay, there's someone sitting there going, hello, this is where the beef jerky is. This is where the moon pies are. I don't think that $10 an hour is deserving of that way. I just don't see it as that. Because, you know, it's not the government's role to tell business what they should pay their workers. They should just butt out.
But the question right now, Thanksgiving, they made $17 billion. Those were their annual sales.
Good. Hey, that's good. That's business. That's what they do so well. If people don't want to work, then don't work. If they don't want to work at Walmart, they want to get another job, do that. I mean, it's a free country. They don't have to go in. They can call in sick.
Dr. Schurman?
Well, they probably can't call in sick. And I think, you know, it's really a question of which picture of America do you want to subscribe to? Do you want the one where we, you know, what's next? Christmas? If we aren't going to allow people to have those holidays off, one after another, all of them will fall. And I just don't know that some of us don't want to live in that particular kind of country.
Some of us do.
Well, some of us don't. And that's a political question. Right now, I think my side's winning.
Okay, so they were open at 8 p.m. last year. They're moving it down to 6 p.m. They're saying there might be protests. Dr. Bart, you think we're going to see people out not working, but out on the protest line?
I think there will be protests because I think there are low wages and then there's the psychology of low wages. And there has to be a balance. There has to be a payment to workers that makes sense. And if it's going to remain so low that people are objecting to it, it's a real problem. And it's government or no government, there has to be a balance. There has to be a right number. And most Americans, polls say that most Americans think that the minimum wage should be adjusted up. So why do they think that way? What's the psychology of that? They know that there should be a balanced approach to this. It should be a reasonable figure.
Now, Walmart has released another statement saying that the workers are excited because they're going to be paid more money, they're going to receive discounts on December 5th, and they're going to get a meal. We can't leave that one out either. So they say that obviously that's a political PR statement, we'll call it. Do you think that the workers are excited, Dr.?
In the old days, we used to call that corporate welfare. It vanished at the end of the 1920s. It's clearly coming back. But let's talk for a second about why do Walmart workers get paid minimum wage? Why does this company, why is it not able to pay above poverty wages to its employees? Now, Dee Dee, of course, believes that if the workers don't want to work for that rate, they can go somewhere else.
Move on.
What she neglects to mention is the fact that we have the largest global oversupply of labor in over 100 years. There are 3 times the number of people in the global labor force right now than there were in the beginning of the 90s. So, the low-wage competition from China, which Walmart, by the way, was the leading source of driving our wages down by moving production to China. Our workers right now are in competition with people who make $100 a month, and I guess you think that's okay.
Well, look, I just am for capitalism. I don't think the government should tell businesses what they do. And it's not just Walmart here. You're talking small businesses that are saying you have to pay this minimum wage. Well, guess what? They're going to have to cut jobs. It's a job killer.
There's no evidence that, in
yes,
fact,
there is
there is no evidence
look,
that is in fact what happens.
Okay, you have a small business and you have to raise the wages and then they're not able. That's just common. That's common knowledge. This
common
is mad.
knowledge is wrong.
No,
Sorry.
Well,
just,
go
look,
on. If you have a certain business, yeah, I sure
you've
do.
Got your tablet
if
right
you have
there,
a certain
look it up.
business and you have a small business and there's only so much money you can pay out, and you raise the minimum wage. I mean, that's a lot of burgers or chalupas to make.
Okay,
yeah, but
here's
my
to
thing.
be able to maintain that.
Let's hear Dr.
But here's
Schurman.
the question. Apparently, you believe that it's okay to stay in business if you can't pay people a living wage. I don't agree with that because you know why? I end up subsidizing through my tax dollars for the things that those people can't pay for when they take their kids to the emergency room, et cetera. It makes no sense.
To punish businesses, that's what you're saying. That punishes businesses. That makes no sense.
If businesses are not succeeding well enough to pay a living wage, why should they do business?
Some of them won't if you raise the minimum wage too high.
Walmart did make $17 billion last year, so they could, conceivably give at least their workers the night off. That's where we're going back to on this one. You think we're going to see any CEOs working on Thanksgiving night?
No, there may be a few. Heck,
that would be at least a good PR move.
No, that would be a good PR move.
They'll be doing what the rest of us apparently are going to do. They'll be going shopping. And the fact that we can't wait to go shopping until Friday morning absolutely baffles me.
I think it's fun. I mean, why not? It's like Thanksgiving. You're able to work off the turkey.
Well, it's changed
shopping.
the whole Black Friday, though.
Except for those people who don't get to have that nice family event.
Well, they can do it another day. I have to work on Thanksgiving every single Thanksgiving. I have no problem with that.
My thing with this is the wage itself. I think that higher wages, not ultimately real high, but reasonably high, helps the economy. It's good for the country. I mean, having low wages and people dropping out of the workplace doesn't help us.
High-skilled workers should get more money.
I will go back to the Wall Street movement, and when they went to the fast food workers, they were going from $8 to demanding $15.
That's crazy.
And that was a little bit of that's almost double.
Can we go to her point though about high-skilled workers deserve more money? Did you read the New York Times today?
No, I don't read that paper often, but please share.
So, big article on what are called the NEETs. The not in education or employment or in the labor force. This happened to be on Europe, where over half of young people between 16 and 24 with master's degrees are unable to find work. We've got about the same level of youth unemployment here in the United States. This is the global unemployment problem is what's holding the wage down. It's what makes it very difficult to raise wages here. And I'll give her a point. She's right. Walmart can't do it on its own, though it got itself in this mess. There has to be a bigger policy solution if we want this to happen, because this oversupply of labor. There's always somebody who'll work for cheaper somewhere.
That's true, but I don't see why that's a problem. I mean, I just don't. And if you're not making enough money, work 2 jobs or find another job.
What if there is no other job?
There are all look, I could tomorrow get 5 jobs if I wanted to, and they'd be, they may be, fast food, but that's okay. At least I'm going to get the job. I'm not going to sit back and say, I'm going to pick it because I'm not getting $10 or $15 an hour for flipping a burger. Give me a break. I mean, that's just wrong. It's a license to be lazy.
Dr. Schurman, I know you want to respond to that one.
It's hard to know what to say to that point of view, frankly. But, okay, I could do the same thing.
No,
all right?
but it does.
No,
it does
literally,
reflect,
I could do the same thing.
No, but it does reflect the way a lot of people feel, and that's why we have this.
That's why you brought me here.
Absolutely.
But I don't think.
Wait, let's hear Dr. Schurman.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I could do the same thing. So could you. So could you. And in fact, we probably, I could go out and get 5 jobs tomorrow, and out of those 5 jobs, I could put together enough to feed my family. Would I spend any time with them? Probably not. What are the consequences of that? I think we all know what they are. So at some point, it's really a question of if we really believe that the market and unbridled competition is going to provide the standard of living we all want. I got a bridge in Brooklyn I'd like to sell you, Mia. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen until the rates of pay in Sri Lanka and China and Uruguay and some other places in Africa start to come up. It can't all be about our wages falling to their level. That's just not going to work.
Very valid points here. 1863, President Lincoln proclaimed the last Thursday to be a day of thanks. What do you think he would say if he saw the Walmart shoppers going to work at 6 p.m.? And I'll start with you, Dr. Barr. Very final thoughts on this subject.
Great point. I don't think he would like it at all. I don't like it, and I think it should be a day off for everybody. It should be a day of thanks.
Dr. Schurman?
It's one of our major holidays. Everyone should get it. And congratulations to Costco, who is going to be closed that day.
And Dee Dee?
I thank them for being open so I can shop early. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be good, and a lot of people enjoy it. And you all will see, I guarantee you, a ton of people out there shopping.
And well, that's also because 8 other stores are going to be open.
Do it or not.
Well, that's also because 8 other stores are going to be following in Walmart's footsteps, and so it's going to be a big shopping day on Thanksgiving this year. So we thank you all for your thoughts.